Hey, what's going on, Phone Dags? Bo HD here. I hope you guys are doing well. Now, I'm on the hunt for a ultra powerful laptop capable of editing 4K video. While the most obvious choice might be the MacBook Pro with Touch Bar, I thought I'd give the new Dell XPS 15 a look, as it's quite a bit cheaper than Apple's latest professional laptops, and quite frankly, it looks sick. It has a near bezel-less 4K display, carbon fiber build, and Intel's new Kaby Lake processor. So this is the box that the Dell XPS 15 shipped in. It's a nondescript black box that has the Dell logo branded on its front, and that's about it. Now, technically, it did ship inside this slightly larger briefcase looking box, but that doesn't look nearly as neat as this black box here. We can get our first glimpse of the XPS 15 by sliding off the top of the box ever so carefully. We'll see the beautiful machine tucked away here. The only bit that is showing is its aluminum face. There's no tab or anything to actually remove this laptop easily. So being the reckless reviewer that I am, I used a knife to pry the laptop up and out. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Underneath, we'll find an XPS 15 Get Started guide and some warranty information below that. If you're wondering about the charger, the 15 does ship with a charger, don't worry, but it's actually pre-packaged inside the shipping box. This is a 130 watt charger that comes with the 97 watt hour battery that is packed inside the model that I have purchased via Dell.com. If we take a quick look around the laptop, we'll see the aluminum top and a relatively thin laptop as a whole. The depth is 9.27 inches, the width is 14.06 inches, and the height is between 0.45 and 0.66 inches, or 11 to 17 millimeters tall. And this machine does weigh roughly 4.5 pounds with the 97 watt hour battery. If you get the smaller battery, it'll weigh about 4 pounds, but it's still pretty heavy. We'll see Dell is pretty generous with the number of ports available on this machine. On the left-hand side, we have an AC power port, USB 3.0 port with PowerShare, HDMI, Thunderbolt 3, and of course a headphone jack. On the right-hand side, we have a Kensington lock slot, a battery gauge button and indicator, another USB 3.0 port, and SD card slot. So my configuration has a 15.6 inch 4K Ultra HD 3840 by 2160 InfinityEdge touch display. It's a mouthful and it's absolutely beautiful. You can customize this laptop to your liking, so if you don't feel like you need that 4K display, you don't need all those extra pixels, and you don't need all the power that is necessary to push those pixels, you can opt in for a 1080p panel. Or if you feel like you don't need a touch display, you can opt in for a non-touch 4K display. But to keep this video extra special, I of course opted in for the best of the best, a 4K touch-enabled display. And based off first impressions, it is absolutely stunning, guys. The contrast and brightness is very good, but the pixel density is incredible. It offers about 282 pixels per inch, which is absolutely on the high end of the spectrum. The 5K iMac, for example, has a 218 pixel per inch index. Now, powering this display is the 7th generation Kaby Lake Intel Core i5-7300HQ quad-core processor and the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1050 with 4 GB of GDDR5 memory. My model only features 8 GB of RAM, and I selected this configuration because I plan on maxing this machine out by adding my own 32 GB of RAM. This is another area that caught my attention. While the new MacBook Pros, cap out at 16 GB of RAM, the Dell XPS 15 supports up to 32 GB. So you can expect a follow-up video pretty soon showing you how to upgrade the RAM on this machine. I hope to have it up soon, that's the goal. As for the hard drive, I selected a 256 GB PCIe solid state drive, as I'll be storing most of my files on an external drive, and I wanted to keep the cost down as much as possible. So I didn't want to spend the extra money on a larger drive, even though Dell told me the SSD is fused to the motherboard and isn't replaceable, unfortunately. Also, worth mentioning, I sprang for Windows 10 Pro instead of Windows 10 Home, just to kind of future-proof myself a bit more and keep my options open in case I decide to use the remote desktop feature or Hyper-V feature. The keyboard is fairly spacious, especially coming from the MacBook, and there's definitely more travel than the MacBook's keyboard. It is backlit too, which is nice. The coolest feature though is the fingerprint reader. It's an extra $25, but I thought it was worth not having to type in a password every time I unlock my computer. It works with Windows Hello, and it's a modern day scanner. It's not one of those like ThinkPad swiping required scanners. You just place your finger on the scanner and boom, it unlocks the machine pretty fast. The last two features worth mentioning include the precision touchpad that feels very responsive and tactile. It's not as good as a Mac touchpad, but I can already tell it's one of the better touchpads I've ever used on a Windows laptop. The other feature is the 720p webcam. What's so unusual about it is that it's below the display as opposed to above it. The bezels of the display are so slim that there's no room for the webcam, so it has to be placed below. You'll see just how inconvenient that placement may or may not be in my full review. So you're probably wondering about the price. I have yet to mention how much I actually shelled out for this laptop. Before I mention the price, I want you to guess how much you think this laptop cost me. I have the 4K variant, the 4K touch display, 7th gen Kaby Lake i5 processor with 8 GB of RAM and 256 GB of internal storage. It's an SSD. I got this laptop for $1,477. It's a lot of money. I mean, don't get me wrong, but when compared to some of Dell's competitors, I feel like this is a very fair price. Now, this does not include the almost $300 I have spent on 32 GB of RAM, and this is the price after a 10% discount promo was applied. There was a promotion going on at Dell.com when I bought this laptop. But the price, I think, is pretty fair in my opinion. I just am hoping this machine will work out for what I need it for. Already, I have unfortunately noticed some performance issues just typing this script here with a few tabs open and no other apps running in the background. I encountered some frequent lag and freezing. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that when I add the additional RAM, these issues will disappear. If not, we're gonna have a problem. So I'm gonna leave it there. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Thumbs up are much appreciated. Maybe subscribe if you're brand new. I have some benchmarks running on the XPS 15 right now as I'm talking to you now. So you can expect more coverage of the computer, the laptop, here on Phone Dog very shortly. I'm gonna definitely install that RAM within the next 24 hours. So stay tuned for that. As always, guys, I'm BoHD from PhoneDog.com. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you right back here in the next one. See ya.